I just want to tell you how wonderful it is to be back here. This church will always have a special place in my heart. And I just appreciate being here. Eric Butterworth is one of my favorite people. I tell you, I just soak up what he has to say in his books. And so today I'm sharing with you on one of his books. It's called The Infusion of Light. And I thought, infusion? Now what in the world can infusion mean? Well, I think what it means is that it's shining forth on everything and everybody, 24/7. And you know, it's amazing. Some people soak it up and use it, and others just kind of shrug it off and say to themselves, I'm really satisfied being miserable. I think I'll just not do this. And it's always a choice, because God does not force good on anyone. I'm really convinced that we have to give permission, and then we have to move our feet. So, his followers, Jesus' followers, saw him as the light, and then the true light that enlightens every person coming into the world. It is true that he said, I am the light. And he also said, you are the light. Wow, talking about being inclusive. Everyone can be the light. You are the light of the world. Let your light shine. Now, in my experience, and I think that y'all would agree with me, very often when we go and we meet new people, we can tell how much light they are sharing with us. Some people just radiate peace and love and joy, and others are kind of grumpy and they really don't want to look you in the eye. And you can feel the difference. Now, I personally love someone who shares their life. Now, it can be in different ways. When I came in this morning, shook this wonderful man's hand this morning, I complimented him on his strong grip. And I have a politician friend back in Rome who was on the city commission. And when he shakes your hand, it's sort of like this. And it's just not the same as someone who really is showing you that you are worth caring about. And we all are worth caring about. In Isaiah it says, then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and come forth health shall spring forth speedily. Well, I'll tell you, in my situation of healing, I haven't done it real speedily. And when people say, how are you doing? And I say, better one day at a time. And you know, there's something to be said for that. Because my health didn't go bad overnight, and it doesn't come back overnight. And sometimes we get messages that we don't really pay attention to. As part of my health challenges, I started getting bloated in my stomach. And so I couldn't understand. All of a sudden I couldn't wear my pants. They just weren't wide enough anymore. And so I talked to my daughter. I said, dear one, I'm really having a challenge. I've had dysentery 26 days in a row. I've lost 18 pounds. I said, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. That's a tough way to lose weight. And she went on the internet and found this wonderful diet and put me on it for 2 weeks. Everything cleared up. I've lost 3 inches in my waist. I can now wear all my pants again. And that's a really nice feeling. And so intuition has a place in our lives. Some people say, nothing to it. Yeah, there is, if you believe it and if you're open to it. In case as no one has told you, we are living in a complex and changing world. And if you don't think this is true, how many people in this audience has found themselves going to sometimes less than a teenager and says, would you make my cell phone work? Or will you help me on my computer? I mean, kids today are smarter than, and when we were kids, scientists, you know, and really bright people. They can sit there and go on that cell phone and just make it almost purr. And I have this little philosophy. My smartphone is smarter than me. There's so much about it that I probably will never understand or use. If there is one thing we need more of, however, it is light. Light, light, light. I personally don't like to walk across a room in the pure darkness. My toes don't like it. They seem to find things that you can run into the easiest you can imagine, and all you have to do is turn the light switch on, and all of a sudden, most of us don't bump into things anymore. So often, our search for truth has been out there. It is my belief again that we have to go inside. Answers are inside, but we have to open up a dialogue between spirit, and that is not, for me, has not been easy to do. It's getting better and better and better. I went up to my daughter's for Father's Day, and I packed an overnight bag and got back, and I was going to use something to do with combing my hair or something. I couldn't find a certain something I usually use, and all of a sudden, this almost was like a voice that said, "It's in your night bag." And I walked over there. Sure enough, there it was. Now that's all good. I'm still waiting because I've misplaced a car key and I can't crank the car, so I'm waiting for this to work again. So keep me in mind if you ever want to help out somebody. It's just not fun. In case you don't know, I have not had this experience. First you have to have a tow truck take you to the dealership. Then they cut you a key for $60, and then they program it for $75. That's an expensive key, and I'm not looking forward to that. So the vehicle's just sitting there, and I keep telling God, anytime now, it's okay. I'd like to know where it is. You have probably heard of Robert Frost, the poet, and this is one of his most famous sayings. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled, and that has made all the difference in my life. Most of us at one time or another have been guilty of following the crowd. That's the easy way. I have not been real comfortable doing that, and I used to tell my daughter again, who is my angel, who adopted 10 special need kids like herself. And when I say special need kids, we're talking about alcohol syndrome and cocaine babies and cerebral palsy, you name it, they get it. And I would tell my daughter, I said, you know, I am really weird from time to time. And she finally said, Dad, I've heard this enough. We're going to change this programming. You're unique. And so I go around telling people, you know, I'm really unique. And that really feels a whole lot better. But I don't follow the crowd very easily. Don't do that, because the crowd can take you some strange places. And I don't really choose to be there and don't want to be there. So Emerson, one of my other favorite people, said, there is guidance for each of us, and by lowly listening we shall hear the right word. Why choose you so painfully? Well, isn't it true and sad that most of us learn the fastest when we hurt? Because we get tired of hurting. And then what do? Okay, God, I need some help. And it's like God says, well, why didn't you ask sooner? Why didn't you ask sooner? But pain has very valuable lessons. And so I'm here to tell you that I got tired of hurting. And so I'm doing some things differently. And I'm feeling better. And sometimes the only way we can do is to do 180 degrees and go another direction. Or maybe 90 degrees or 45, you know. Some of us are better listeners than others when pain is involved. We say, isn't nature wonderful? And then we quickly dispose of the matter, paraphrasing Jesus, if God so endowed the lesser creatures of life, shall he not much more endow you, ye of little faith? Well, one of those verses that resonated with me for a long time is, God knows how many birds are in the world. And if he knows how many hairs are on our head, then he probably knows that we're really part of the God family. And it's very important to remember that. The flow of light and guidance must come from within. I know none of you have done what I've done so much. When I wanted answers, I went and looked outside. Somebody else must know what to do. Well, they may, but it may not work for you. It may not be what you need, but many people will tell you. Let me tell you what I would do if I was you. Well, let me tell you, sometimes you really get stubbed toes listening to somebody else. But the answers are always within us if we will just pay attention. I like that old saying, which would you rather have? A baseball bat upside the head to get your attention, or a touch of an angel's wing on your shoulder? Well, it didn't take me too long to figure out which one I liked the best, because I kept getting knots up there and they hurt. And so it's really important to listen. Now, isn't it that simple? Listen. You might be amazed at just what you hear and how life works better. Light is an omnipresent reality. We must learn to be still and know that you are in the flow of divine love. Be still and know. But if you don't quiet your mind, God cannot talk to you, cannot guide you. It's real important to have a special time of the day and talk to God. Well, I have over the last few years made a habit that every night as I lay down in the bed, everybody that I come in contact with that day, I say, thank you, God. Whether it was peaceful or less than peaceful, it's still a lesson involved. And we need to be grateful for everybody in our life. Some are harder teachers than others, but they can and should be our teacher also. God is everywhere present, regardless of appearances. God is aware of us. Walter Russell said, mediocrity is self-inflicted. Whoa, talking about taking personal responsibility. If you're mediocre, or you're especially wonderful, they're both self-inflicted. Choices are what make the difference in our life. Choose this day who you will serve. When Jesus said, let your light shine, he meant, let yourself be what you really are. Or as Eckhart said, let God be God in you. Whoa! God in us? Can we possibly affect others by our God light? I have learned now that when you really get in a place. You can go to as simple as a Walmart and walk through the aisles, and people will smile at you first because they pick up on what you're radiating. And it's a wonderful thing to smile. I've already told you I'm unique, so I'm going to share another uniqueness with you. I have made a promise to myself several years back that every day I will make at least one person smile. And you know what? I don't have a bit of problem doing that. And it doesn't usually stop at one. I have to be in the house by myself before I can do more than one, because I like to smile. And my puppy dog keeps me in laughter and smiles all the time. Little bitty 100-pound doggy, you know. He'd like to sit in my lap, but it doesn't work too well. But he is the most wonderful companion I could ever ask for. And so, smiles are good. They release endorphins into our system that makes everything work better. So, thank each one of you that's smiling at me today. I appreciate it very much. I would ask you to affirm that you are in the flow of light and God is in the light. You are in it and it is in you. I firmly believe there's nowhere you can go that God is not. Nowhere. And I had some indigestion problems early on in my unity experience when I kept hearing people say, everyone has a divine spark in them. And I think about people that have done horrible things or are in prison or whatever, and it finally came clear to me that their light is very dim. But it doesn't mean it's not there. It's just that they have chose to turn it down. And again, we have choices. We have choices. And nobody, as far as I know, made you show up today. So you had a choice to be here and to share your energy and your love with all of us that are here. And I appreciate it. I must say, I probably don't know half of you. So I'm just glad that I have made some friends today, and thank you for that. So life is good. Don't make a decision that you will be sorry for later, if it is at all possible. I believe that when we keep growing spiritually, we have this little voice that will tell us, no, let's don't do that. Or, go ahead, it'll be all right. But the only way that happens is we have to be listening. Listening. I tell people, I have a gift. And my gift is I'm a good listener. So hear me now. If you don't want me to remember what you're saying, don't say it. Because I probably will remember. And it is my experience that most people need someone to listen to them. Not just hear them, but listen. Psychologists say the great majority of us at one time or another cannot wait for that person to shut up or we can say something. That's not listening. Listening is taking in what that person is open to share with you and perhaps just say something that you're inspired to say. But it's real important to listen. The only decision you ever need to make is to be in the beginning of making yourself a self-discoverer. A self-discoverer. That takes courage. What did it take? How much courage did it take for Columbus to set out across a sea that nobody really knew anything about and believe that he could do that? And how many times have you said, perhaps, or heard someone say, I'll believe it when I see it? Anybody ever heard that? Well, spiritual teachers say, if you believe it, you'll see it. Just switching the words around. Instead of, I'll believe it, I'll see it when, excuse me, you will see it when you believe. So you have to play this little game. Be open and receptive to believe. Gosh, I think belief is one of the greatest gifts anybody could ever have. I believe, therefore I am. I love, therefore I am. So believe, believe, believe. God is always with each of us. We are never alone, regardless of appearances. There is nowhere we can go that God is not. I have really had some self-realization of this when this doctor is telling me, here is just stroke possible. And I've seen people who have had some really severe stroke, and so I had some apprehension. And then I just said, okay, dear God, I have had a great life. If you need me to come home now, that's fine. If you want me to continue to serve, that I would like to do. And one of those instances of proving that, I'm here today, sharing with you who I am. So I must have still a mission to keep performing. And I like being able to share my concepts of how good God is. Learn to treat and trust and believe. Treat yourself good. There are times when it's good just to sit down with a book, relax, and just let your mind go and be in that book. I owned a bookstore for 18 years. Had 100,000 books, and I set out to read them all, but I didn't make it. But I have found that I have the capacity with a good author. I can go right into his plot, and it's like I'm off to the side seeing what's going on. And that's a good way to unwind. And also meditation. We have to take time to be still. The saying is, be still and know God. Well, that's a really good thought and philosophy to have and live by. Wherever you are and whatever is a need, be still and remember to be in the flow. And when you do that, your light will shine, your life will change, and you will just know for sure what love is all about. And I thank you very much.